I want to talk about REX MAASAI inquest. Uh, I've just reminded myself two things. One is that maybe a lot of people are not be shocked if 90% of my viewers don't know what is happening. And two, people say I'm a very good history teacher. Well, let me try to be a very good law teacher. What is going on is an inquest. It's an inquest. It is not a murder trial. Now, what is the difference between an inquest and a murder trial? Using a simplified language, and I usually have a problem whenever I do a teaching program before I answer you. Usually, my viewers are of different understanding of the topic I'm talking about. We have some viewers who know 10 times better than me, and we have some viewers who know nothing. But in every subject that I do, everything that I do that can fall under definition of teaching, my preferred way of talking, which many people interpret it as teaching, is that I try to imagine that the person I'm talking to is that average person with an average education and not an expert in the field. I find that sometimes when I'm talking, I find that there are some people who know better than me and spend time correcting me or teaching me that they know better than I do. But I usually tell people that it is not me. Okay, in correcting me, in teaching me, I know, in exchange of ideas, uh, even in topics where I know more than everybody, when I exchange ideas with people, I know more. So usually this thing is an exchange of ideas. Nobody knows everything about everything. We when we exchange ideas on that field, at the end of the day, all of us benefit. Somebody who knows nothing gets something, and even I, who has some knowledge, when I tell people things, I get people who know better than me, whereby as they are correcting me, they are also teaching those who know very little, and in the end, we know better, we become wiser. But we have some people who want to show me that they know better than me. There are those people who don't want to show me that they know better than me, but they correct me. Actually, we have had a place where I go this way, this way, this way. Some people cleverly and politely correct me, and then I'm grateful, because if I would have kept quiet, I would have stayed ignorant for the rest of my life, but I'm being corrected. So please, let us correct each other in that way, in a way that our biggest target should be that person who has no idea in what is happening, and he or she wants to get ideas from that. Who knows, they may even be professors in the future, and they may say that I used to casually watch. I know of a judge who studied law and became a judge because he used to watch Mzee Tamas Vioja Mahakamani. So that is what we are doing. Our mine is just giving the small, but the main target we should use the language and whatever. Because if we start talking Latin, uh, we'll just find that we will be exchanging ideas, and the people who are targeted do not get anything. I'd rather stay at this level, and I'd rather you stay that level, but somebody down there who knows nothing at least gets interest. As there are some inconsistencies, someone may say there are some inconsistencies in a REX case, and there are some confusion and whatever, and that is why we wanted people to understand. And the first thing I'd said, uh, this is not a murder trial, it is what is called an inquest. You can hear from the word inquest. Inquest is an inquiry. An inquest is an inquiry whereby the DCI investigated the murder of Rex Maasai and could not come to conclusively. So an inquest was opened with a view of widening the scope so that everybody, you see, like murder, most of the things you need facts and whatever. But an inquest, they are not that strict, and murder, usually they have somebody in mind, and they aim at that person, at that suspect particularly. But inquest is wide in scope and mandate to an extent that as you are listening to these things, there's a lot of things that are coming out, like what I've even discovered. After the end of the inquest, it will decide that the ODPP, the Directorate of Public Prosecution, should investigate further, or should take so and so, I know you know him, and charge him with murder. That is what an inquest is. It's a deeper inquiry, and it's an open inquiry. You can also have discovered that there are several mistakes in the arm register movement. What is an arm register movement? That is the goodness of a person like me, because even if you watch programs by the other channels, they just show you the law courts, and there is that technical language that people talk and so on and so forth. That okay, I don't blame those people. They never went to Kiganjo, they never went to GSU training school, and they never went to CID training school. There is a book that is called Arm Movement Register, which true is an arm movement register. The book is meant to indicate how arms are moving in that police station. There is an armory there. It has so many guns. It is like what do you call, an accountant who at the close of the day he can tell you about the accounts, the way the accounts is, how many, or even you yourself, the way you budget things. It is approaching end month. There are some money that remained last month. Then there is another, at the end of the month, there is a salary coming in. You add up, you minus, you do what. That is, but this one is not now talking about money. It is balancing the books. Yeah, it's balancing the books like bankers do. But the books that are being balanced are the books that are being balanced are it's not about money, but about firearms and ammunition. Um, it is I was shocked that people don't know that the central police station in Nairobi is the most central police station in Kenya. It is the mother of all police stations in Kenya. So generally, I'm shocked that the biggest police station in the whole country, uh, in everything, in operation, in personnel, in everything, would have a corporal being the armorer. Usually there is a sergeant. We used to say Major Walaini, Sergeant Major Walaini. Police quarters are called Laini, police lines. So he used to be the sergeant major for the police lines, but he had three works. He had three duties. The first duty was he used to allocate and run the residence of the people below the rank of inspector. That is one. Two, his second work was he was the armorer. And three, he was the deployment officer. He was the deployment officer of junior people. Because at the police station level, there is the OCS, who's a chief inspector, and then there is one inspector who is the deputy, and several inspectors who are in charge of various departments. So each department needs so many personnel. So it is he has to deploy those people, whereby 2 weeks he can place you in the armory. No, not armory. At the roadblock, 2 weeks he can place you at crime branch. 2 weeks he can place you rotational work. It is him now to deploy, except if various departments feel that you are very good in traffic, then you stay there longer. So he does deployment. If there is a raid or if there is a riot or anything, he's the one who is told to. An inspector could come and say, I need 4 people to assist me in an operation which you have to wake up at 3 a.m. He's the one to decide to do that. So he's the deployment officer. He's the armorer who gives out guns, and he's also in charge of residence police lines. But nowadays, in most police stations, they don't stay within the quarters, so he has remained with 2. How a premier station like this one should have, how such a premier station should have a corporal, still a challenge. I'm trying to reason about it. I can't get it. And then is that the reason why he does it? Okay, it could also be the reason why he doesn't know how to use the arms movement register, because the arm movements register has a lot of problems. Remember, the inquest requested for the what do you call IPOA. IPOA requested for the movement register, and it was the police were delaying in handing it over. I think it is because they later came to discover it had problems. And you see, Kenya is one country where we are known to hide stories, thinking that after 10 to 12 days, people will have forgotten. It is quite possible that the police were not willing to give out the arm movement register because it had been discovered to have a lot of problems. The problems I saw was, you see, there is a place where in the arm movement register, there was a mistake in entry, and when there was a mistake in entry, somebody put there a whitewash, placed a whitewash there, and then wrote something on top of that. That is very bad. And although I've never worked as an armorer, and most of my time I worked in the intelligence, but then there is a very big mistake there. A very big mistake. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that the person who was in charge of armory on that day was incompetent. So whoever allocated him that job should also be blamed, because it was given to somebody who was, being a very sensitive place, he should have even, and you see, he was a junior officer. The work of armory is given in a station where there are more than one sergeant. It is not just given to any sergeant, it is given to the most senior sergeant in the police station. Now, you are not even giving the armory to a sergeant, you are giving it to a corporal. And it is supposed to be not just given to a sergeant, it is supposed to be given the most senior sergeant. In that police station, there are maybe, in an ordinary police station, there are 4. But don't be shocked to find that a central police station could have about 10 sergeants. Now, why those sergeants were not given the armory is a problem. And again, you can see the mess that that person did on that day. The mess that that person did on that day he would make Rex Maasai's murderer go scot-free, because on one side he has altered uh, an entry by whitewashing it and overwriting on it. In Evidence Act, that is not admissible as evidence, because if he would have discovered something, if he would have discovered a wrong entry, he should have drawn a thin line, and then made another entry at the bottom, so that whoever comes, he can see. You see, when I was writing the serial number of this firearm, I had placed a 6 instead of a 9. I had placed a 6 instead of a 9. So the line that you draw, the middle line you draw, one single line, is that whatever entry is there should not disappear, so that anybody can counter check it and realize that whatever you placed there was, anybody can counter check and realize that there was a human mistake. But this thing of whitewashing, and we do not know even when the whitewashing happened. Maybe it even happened a week before last week. Mm. But you see, if you draw a straight line and repeat it at the bottom, it shows that you realize that mistake when at a certain time, because there are two entries between this entry and that entry. So here, if the murder of Rex Maasai can go scot-free, the first person to blame is the OCS. The OCS, who was that central? It was not Alam. There was another OCS there. I don't know. During my time, we used to have people like who? Haron Stuma Wetisia. We had what is this fellow? I'll remember his name. Uh, he was also the OCS Garissa one time, and there was a time when he was the OCS Railways Nakuru. I'll remember his name as I go on, in case I'll. But he used to say Kali Sana, something like, and he used to be Boogie Bender type. We need such OCSs. Uh, we need such OCSs there. You find that now they are placing at the premier police station in Kenya, they are placing their incompetent OCSs is a problem. And then we are also having an incompetent AMARA. And you see in the, what do you call, there are two things that you cannot replace. For example, things to do with firearms. You cannot take a G3 and replace it with another G3. The same applies to IEBC. IEBC, the ballot paper that has been printed should be the one that should be produced in court or something like that, because you cannot replace it with another. But if it is money in the central bank, there was 5 million here. Tomorrow, if they come and they find another 5 million, case is over. In fact, there's no case there. So the issue of AMARA, the handling of arm movement register is very important. But I've noticed two mistakes there. The first mistake was that one I've said, whitewashing. Then there is another one where the same entry is entered twice. The same entry is entered twice. Somebody, they say, okay, number 41877, Police Constable James Lando JI-TENGE, you have taken this firearm, whatever, sign here, I sign. And then after 3 or 4 entries, you find again the James, somebody may, okay, the first gun maybe was issued with the serial number 19 or 8, whereas it was supposed to be 16 or 8. So if you don't cancel the first entry with a straight line, it shows that you are given 2 guns. One the serial number was 1908 and another one was 1608, and that is very dangerous, because it can reach a time when you are told to produce the 2. So there was a double entry in form of a whitewashing. Then there was a double entry that when a mistake was discovered and it was written for the second time, the armor was supposed to write a single line canceling that one. He didn't do that. I'm still getting an impression that in that very same police station, there were so many former APs there. Whoever came up with an idea, APs were so many, and they were doing nothing, just staying at the chief's camps and doing whatever. And we had a shortage in the general duties. So whoever came up with an idea that two-thirds of APs should be absorbed in the general duties had a good idea. Maybe of what do you call conversion cost? The course is called conversion cost. Was expensive. There were no facilities. For a class to attend, it is expensive. You have to buy chalks. You have to accommodate those people. You have to feed those people. You have to do whatever. So the thing here is that they just put on, and we are now seeing the effect of APs doing general duties work without undergoing what do you call conversion course. Uh, that is my own opinion. I can also not imagine how particulars are whitewashed and rewritten. You see, that is what I was saying. If something was seen to be a mistake, they were supposed just to draw us a line between uh, and then written on another place, so that the intention is when you write, you cancel by using a thin white line across. Whoever comes to inspect it later, uh, whoever comes to find it later, comes to understand. Now, with a whitewash, you can never know what was there initially, but rewriting it and having a straight line in the middle, uh, will nobody will have any doubts. Another thing that is confusing is that the cop was issued with the rubber bullets, which can not be used in a tear gas launcher. Now you have been given a tear gas launcher. I've said in another video, and I think it was a video to do with Rex Maasai again. I said, yeah, it was to do about, or is it, if it is not Rex Maasai, then I think it is about Boniface Mwangi. I said that when you are picking cartridge, if you are a demonstrator, it does not necessarily mean that the cartridge are being used to kill people. You cannot use, in some guns, you cannot use these, what do you call, tear gas launchers without using a live bullet. This live bullet blows the tear gas, instead of you as a human being removing the pin and throwing. This one is thrown by a bullet, both by exploding it and also pushing it very far. So some things I'm not imagining. I'm not imagining. Hmm? Somebody was given, and in fact, he was even being asked, why were you being given blank bullets? No, why were you given rubber bullets? And then you had to use a tear gas launcher. Uh, Kenya hii there's a song, Kenya yetu ni Kenya inchi ya ajabu. That is where such a song is needed. And again, there is a witness who was being asked that you are given R and then you are given bullets. What is it? He said, I can't understand. Now, Kaifafa, what can I say? Because R either meant rifle or they meant rubber bullets. But then when you are going on duty, and then hivi tu hata mtu anashindwa la kusema, because police officers also have something that is called police notebook. They didn't even write in the police notebook, and the Law Evidence Act allows the police notebook to be used as in evidence. Now you are you are assigned things. You don't know whether that R stands for rubber bullet or rifle with bullets. But in my own understanding is that those were rubber bullets, because in an armed movement register, you cannot, although when they are calling each other, they say, okay, come and get Rs, they mean come and get rifles or Romeos. But in the armed movement registers, you cannot write an R. You say this is this type of a gun, AK-47, serial number this, or G3 serial number this. So when they say R bullets, the person entering the entry is, to my opinion, is trying to say that that police officer was given rubber bullets. But then here you are, the police officer does not remember what he was given, and he went to the riot place. He went to the riot place with what he can't recall 1 year later, and somebody lost his life there. See, there was a question. There was somebody who cross-examined one of the police and asked if there is the possibility of cops exchanging guns with no reference to the armor. He denied it, but this is an inquest. This is an inquest, so whoever was asking the question was not even asking him the question. He was telling the person in charge of the inquest that it appears in this particular operation, or any of these operations that the police nowadays do, there are possibilities that guns are being given and people exchange guns there. I want to tell any police officer in service right now, don't try this at home. With these ballistic experts, if they come and find that the rifle that you signed for is the one that discharged the bullet that killed so and so, you are in hot soup, my son. You are in hot soup, my daughter. So he was the question here was trying to enlighten people that it is quite possible that ammunitions are being, no, guns are being exchanged, not reflecting that. I remember there was a riot in Kisumu some years back, and a police officer was caught on camera where a young boy was playing monkey trick. He was irritating with issues. I mean, aping apes, aping apes. Then this police officer shot him, and when he shot him, he went and made sure he's dying. He kicked him and then came out. That police officer was identified, but he won the case because the sergeant, the armorer sergeant who had given him firearms, when recording the firearm, he had recorded the wrong number. He had recorded the wrong number. So it was said that gun number this, he took a gun, let's say 2756. That is what he took. But the gun that was written was 2765. So when the armorer came, he said, the gun that killed the person was 65. But the gun that you took from the armor and returned it was 56. So we should, in future, even, I don't think there is even a course for armorers. They just go to the police station, they are taught how that is the third OB there. That is the third OB in a police station. So they know how to fill in those books and whatever. That is how it is. The Askar was asked if he knows his namesake. He said he didn't know him. But then I can say that in any police station, even the largest police station, people know each other. I think, in my own opinion, police officers who were under Kapenguria police station in 1984 were more in number than police officers in Central police station. But we knew each other. I think here I can only say that it has already been said elsewhere that the Murangiri who is suspected to have triggered the bullet that killed the REX MAASAI was not a member of that police station, and that is why people are running away from him. He was a member of something called AM, or Alpha Mike, and these are these squads that you hear that are ordered from above. So I think and it is, especially APs being very disciplined, you find that such such squads are the one populated so much with a lot of APs, because they can be ordered to do anything, and it doesn't. He doesn't question. A police officer or a general duty police officer who has been to Kiganji, you give him he he's always very suspicious. You give him orders which are not contained in books, he says that is an illegal order. Or even when he's doing the illegal order, he goes around very careful not to be caught. So what I would tell the members of administration police who join the police, that welcome to the country. You think Kenya is a Republic of Kenya? Well, I can tell you, welcome to a country that is called the Republic of Kurukana. Anything happening, mutarukana, and since you people are not used to kurukana, mutarukwa, and that is the truth.